Today on our show, we have a very special guest. She's a podcaster, and she has a podcast called Vacation Rental Success. There are a couple of hundred episodes where she interviews experts on the Airbnb or the VRBO space and all about cleaning and managing the properties and all that stuff. So if you are a host or you are a house cleaner that works with Airbnb hosts, this is a podcast for you. So I'm going to introduce you to her today, and she's going to answer some cleaning tip questions for us for Airbnbs or vacation rentals. Please help me welcome Heather Bayer.
Hi, my name is Heather Bayer. I am a vacation rental, let's say, expert. I've been in the vacation rental business for 25 years. And I currently live in Ontario, Canada. So despite the accent, I am in North America. And I run a vacation rental management company, property management company, and we have 180 properties dispersed over a really, really wide area. So if we're thinking about sort of cleaning and housekeeping, we have 180 properties and 180 separate cleaners in different spaces.
Oh my goodness. I just heard a whole bunch of house cleaners around the world dance for joy. Like, oh, hello, Heather.
Absolutely. And I also run a company called Vacation Rental Formula, and we do education for hosts and managers of short-term rental properties. And I hesitate to say Airbnb because Airbnb seems to have become the catch-all phrase. But, you know, Airbnb has only been going since 2007, and the vacation rental business has been going for a lot longer, a lot more years. So Airbnb is mainly sort of in the urban areas, and the vacation rentals are more in destinations. So that's the delineation we have. And I'd love to talk about the difference between cleaning in residential homes and cleaning in short-term rental properties, because I interview a lot of cleaning professionals who have been professional in the residential area for a lot of years and now see the opportunities in short-term rental, but there are just some huge differences. So that's what I would love to share with you today.
Well, let's dig right in, because we get asked this question every single day where house cleaners are asking, I would like to start in the business of the Airbnb or the B&B, vacation rental, short-term rental, whatever the terms are. How do I get started and what is the difference? So we get asked that all the time. We would love your experience.
Well, I would say the main difference is that you have to take out the residential side of it and come into it from a hospitality viewpoint. Because the moment an owner or a host or a manager goes into this business, they become a provider to the travel industry. So this is the main difference. You start cleaning in let's call it an Airbnb. I hate this, but it's so much easier. Once you start cleaning in an Airbnb, it is very much like a hotel or a resort, which may be something that most people are not familiar with. And I want to give you one example, because it's the one example I always use. If you're going into a residential cleaning situation, and I know that my housekeeper comes into my house every week, she would not think about going into my cupboards, pulling out a whole pile of plates and mugs and checking to see if they've been put back in the cupboard used. But in a vacation rental, that is something you have to do, because guests who are coming into a short-term rental are using the place in an entirely different way than people who are resident in the home. And that is the major difference. In a residential setting, you probably wouldn't go into the bedside drawers as one of the first things you do when you walk into the bedroom to clean. And this is something you have to do, because it's amazing what people leave behind.
And that's an interesting point, because as professional house cleaners, if the door is closed, you don't open it. You don't open closets, cupboards, drawers. You don't open any of those things. And you're right, in the Airbnb or vacation rental space, you must make sure that nobody left anything behind before the next guest came, because if they see things, they're going to think, oh, this room wasn't turned properly.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, this goes for bedside drawers, bathroom cabinets, all the drawers and cabinets in a kitchen. In fact, absolutely everything. I know when I'm a guest in a vacation rental, I've rented this home. I've paid a lot of money for it. To me, it is my space for the week. And I will use every cupboard, every drawer. And I do leave things behind. And we have this every week. You know, people are leaving clothing behind, underwear, socks, and all these things have to come back. And we have to ask our guests, do you want these things back? Do you want your underwear back? It's the difference as I'm talking about it. I'm just seeing this vast chasm that is so much different. But in essence, it's the same because you still have to do the same professional job. I made a note earlier on about tolerance that I've found in all my years of being in this space, that people have become less and less tolerant of poor cleanliness.
And when you say people are less tolerant, you're talking about the guests coming in.
Exactly, the guests coming in, because they're being encouraged now online that this is one area where they can make complaints and get money back. And we have had complaints about a single hair in a shower. We've had complaints about a plastic bag left in a kitchen drawer. And they will use this as the basis. The guests may use this as the basis of a complaint to get their money back. And of course, the owner is losing money every time this happens. The other thing to think about is that guests are asked to make reviews of the property after every single stay. And if they have a complaint of any sort, they're going to post that complaint and that review online for everybody to see. And if it's a cleanliness issue, this is a big deal for the owner.
Well, now running 180 properties, that is a lot of management for house cleaning. And so are there any things that you do on a wide scale as far as training or as far as inspections or whatever, so that your house cleaners coming in know what you are looking for in your 180 properties?
All our homeowners take responsibility for the cleaning team that they have on board. And some of them may be just a small property, 2 bedrooms, and they just have a single cleaner who comes in. And then we have the larger 7, 8, 9 bedroom properties where there is a full team that goes in. But once again, the owner takes responsibility in general for the hiring of the professionals that are going to go into their place. And what we do is supply a checklist. We often, and some of our owners use an app called Properly, which I don't know if you've heard of, Angela.
Yes, it's an amazing app.
The Properly app. I know the founders of the Properly app really, really well, and have been familiar with it since it first started. And it's an amazing app that we encourage our owners to use, because it means that they can take a picture of what they want the bed to look like, what they want the gift basket to look like. And the people who are cleaning can then go through each room and then tick off the different things that they've been asked to do. So where our owners are using the Properly app, it's so much easier. And then when they finish the clean, because we can't go in and inspect because our properties are so widely dispersed, we ask that the Properly app is completed and we can see the photographs that they take. I mean, our properties, some of them are 10 hours from where I am.
Right.
It's difficult. We don't have a supervisory aspect to it. But I have to say that the professional cleaners that go into these properties, they see it as that they have huge pride in what they're doing, because they know that after they leave, it's a family on vacation that's going to arrive and walk in the door. And they have pride in making that initial impression amazing.
Well, and it's interesting because there are house cleaners, and their expression of themselves is the clean house. And so when they come in and they see things that have, been upturned and they reset it to the perfect state of whatever Properly says this is the perfect state, then it is a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride, a sense of I did a great job. And then when you get those ratings and reviews that come back and say this was amazing, it was perfectly clean, it's so rewarding. And I know there are house cleaners that will screenshot and they share those reviews. They're like, I cleaned this place, check me out, And it's just super exciting when it all comes full circle and everyone wins in that game of, did we meet our guests' expectations?
Well, yes, the one review that everybody loves is that expression, it was cleaner than my own home. And I'm a clean freak. And we hear this a lot, I'm a clean freak, but I could not fault this. So, that to us is testament to the amazing professionals that our owners are able to find. But I have to say that some of our properties are very isolated. It's very difficult to find the right people. So it's a constant challenge for us.
Well, and you said that the homeowners are responsible for finding those house cleaners. And that's a constant question we get is, how do we connect as house cleaners with the hosts? Do you have any ideas or suggestions on that?
Yes, certainly go to the networking places where the hosts hang out. On Facebook groups, just go in and look and just Google short-term rentals, vacation rentals, and you'll find these Facebook groups. And some of them have 3,000-4,000 subscribers. And these are all homeowners who need somebody. And if they don't, they know somebody who does. Also, get in touch with the property management companies in the area. Like ourselves, we absolutely love it when we get a contact from an independent cleaner or a professional company, because that goes in our database. And then when we find a new owner, the first thing they want is somebody to clean the property. So we're able to refer that out. So it's a great referral process. And then we also find it works the other way, that the cleaners go out and talk to their clients and say, oh, this is a great property management company. So It works both ways.
Right. Well, you are a wealth of information. Would you mind telling our listeners about your podcast? You've been on the air for many years and you've got hundreds of episodes, and you speak to the realtors and the hosts and the homeowners and the house cleaners. And I mean, you've got just a wealth of information. Share with us what that's all about.
Yes, certainly. The Vacation Rental Success podcast has been on air since 2013, which is crazy. We have 320 episodes, 600,000 downloads so far. And what we do, we interview experts in the field. We interview hosts and managers. People are successful. We interview suppliers and providers. It's a great arena for people who have a voice in the industry to come and share with others. So, thanks for mentioning it. I'd love to have more listeners. Anybody who wants to know more about the vacation rental industry, it's certainly the place to go.
Well, and I'm going to leave links in the show notes to that, as well as your vacation rental formula. Tell us real quick about that before we wrap this up.
Thanks, Angela. The Vacation Rental Formula is an educational resource. It's a membership site. So our members have the benefit of all the training courses that we provide in managing, setting up, preparing, and operating a short-term rental property. And we have a great community there as well. And as with every community, it's lovely to be able to get in there and talk to like-minded people.
Well, thank you so much, Heather. This was so fascinating. And you shared with some really interesting bits of information that I know house cleaners getting into the industry are certainly going to consider, as well as the homeowners that are now hosts.
Well, thank you, Angela. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you.
Well, thank you. We got to do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely.
All righty. And that was Heather Bayer from Vacation Rental Formula and Vacation Rental Success podcast. I'm going to leave links in the show notes to all the things that we talked about so you can find her easily, and also check out her membership site. If you are an Airbnb host, or if you are a property manager, or if you are a house cleaner looking to break into that space, this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn everything you need to know in order to be able to work together. All righty. If you found this helpful, please pass it on to a friend. If we've earned your subscription, please subscribe.